Lovey. Thank you for curating the vibe. We love it. We love it so much. And I am just so excited to see so many beautiful people in the moving image and recorded sound division on this Saturday afternoon. Is it brick outside? I'm from Chicago, so I would say no. Um, but it's warm in here, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, a couple of little notes. Does anyone need a program? If you need a program, raise your hand, and we will come bring you one. Well, and then also, it does appear that most people have a seat, but we can bring out more seats for anyone who is standing. And so if you would like to sit, we can bring you a seat. So just let us know. We have plenty of seats. We are warm, we are cozy, we are feeling the vibe, we are loving it. One request. Can we put up the moving image of our namesake Arturo Schomburg that was on display? The projection, yes. Can we put that up? Yeah. So our namesake is Arturo Schomburg. Uh-oh. Okay. No problem. No problem. No problem. No problem. So, in the moving image and recorded sound division, we have the only existing moving image of our namesake, Arturo Schomburg. And so, we wanted to show you this important piece of history because this is how we came into being. And so, it's a short clip, but we love people to see it because it puts a human moment and motion to who we're named after and why it's so important that we do what we do. And so, MIRS, we're really so happy to have the materials that we have, the over 80,000 items in our collection. I'm just gonna wait. We're gonna wait one little second. It's coming. Okay. If we can't do it, don't worry about it. Okay. You got to come back and see it. You got to come back and see it, and you know how you can come back and see it? With a library card. All right. Is the stream? Can I go? Okay. Perfect. So I'm gonna do my welcome and intro again for all of those who are joining us by stream. And so thank you again for joining us. You are enjoying Mic'd at Mears at the Schomburg Center. And so yeah, we can clap it up for that. We just had an amazing set curated by Lovey. And if you are just joining the live stream or just coming now into MIRS, I'm Dr. Crystal Moten, and I'm the Associate Director of Special Collections here at Schomburg Center. So welcome again. We know that the Schomburg Center is one of the oldest and largest public research libraries devoted to the Black diaspora. Yes, we hold 11 million items. Look at that. Yes. So this is our moving image of Arturo Schomburg that we love to show, and that is him right there sitting at the desk in the Division of Negro Literature, History, and Prints. So we hold 11 million items in our collections, and the MIRS division, where we are right now, collects and preserves audio and moving image materials related to the experiences of people of African descent. We are in our centennial anniversary, and this gives us ideas and new ways to engage our collection in new ways. And that's what we're doing today with this new series we've started, Mic'd at MIRS. Once again, we are very excited to partner with the Lot Radio and our featured DJs today, who we've already heard from Lovey, and pretty soon, Russell E.L. Butler. Both Lovey and Russell curated sets that you are hearing today. But I want to make clear that Lovey and Russell are only able to be here today because of who we are, what we are. We are a free and public institution. Anyone can explore our collections. Anyone can experience Black history firsthand. Anyone can contribute to the rich, creative tapestry that makes Black culture so transformative and important. The Schomburg Center is where Black history is both accessed, experienced, and made. Before we start our final set, I would like to thank everyone who made this series possible. Our MIRS staff, wave your hands, MIRS staff. Yes. Schomburg Security and Facilities, who's keeping us safe, keeping our facilities clean. Our Centennial Senior Project Manager. And NYPL Comms. Can't forget that. As well as the incredible team behind the Lot Radio. Yes. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the second creative we will be listening to today. Russell E.L. Butler is a Bermudian artist and DJ. You can see Russell's recent work in the Deep Exposure newsletter, the Lot Radio, as well as albums and collaborations that investigate dub processes as a means of establishing rituals around grief and remembrance. So please give a warm MIRS welcome to Russell E.L. Butler for the second set of Mike and MIRS.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Ooh, there we go. Good afternoon, people of the Schomburg Center and the Lot Radio. Thank you for attending today. Thank you for tuning in. I am Russell Ellington Langston Butler. That is my given name. And I've written some remarks about my time at the Schomburg. My interests were, that's kind of the umbrella, the grief and dub processes. But in approaching this archive, I kind of honed in on a few interests. One is orality and oral tradition. The next is Black people with synthesizers, and then the next is kind of political and social consciousness. So here we go. When I was asked to pull records to play from MIRS at the Schomburg Center, I was excited to engage. And then when confronted with the reality of several thousand records spanning space and time, I recognized that my own work and interest in recorded music had to find a center to orient myself within this expansive collection, ostensibly meaning that I was quite lost. In my own work, I build frameworks before I compose a piece of music, create a DJ set, or write an essay. These boundaries are set by what instruments I have, what records I own, and what books I am reading. And though I am an artist, which implies that I work towards a kind of specificity as represented by the art I create, this specificity, and therefore the creation of the finished work, cannot arise without context, a frame, a room, an institution, and collaboration. When I was quite young, in Bermuda, where I'm from, I attended a public interview with a respected Black American film director. When the Q&A portion of the event arose, I nervously asked for the microphone and preambled my question with polite deference. I began by complimenting the filmmaker on his depiction of an Italian-American family in the 1970s, and before I could get out my question, he interrupted me. "What year were you born?" he asked. Confused, I replied, 1986? He said, "Now what the hell does somebody born in 1986 know about the 1970s? The room erupted with anxious and tense laughter. I was embarrassed. In fact, I cried myself to sleep that night, knowing that I could never look at one of my heroes the same way again. But I invoke that experience to illustrate a truth, though unintended, that this contemptuous exchange pointed out. The director thought that I lacked sufficient context in order to gain understanding. But my empathy for the characters depicted expressed a desire to understand. Understand what? Perhaps to understand how humans live, how we decide to live with one another, and how we can guide others towards this understanding. This experience showed me that curiosity is the result of a social exchange. Curiosity arises out of an honesty that understanding doesn't yet have a home, and that questions inhabit this place instead. But where do you ask those questions? Before the internet contained so much, the library was the first place to start. At the Schomburg, my time was facilitated by the folks at the information table, the security guards checking me in and directing me to my destination, and the librarians at MIRS, who recommended records, resources, and routes to allow me to forge a special presentation for you. Some of these records I know quite well. Some I found as a result of the archival work of this organization. What I hope to express with access to this archive has yet to be realized, but what I have so far is an expression of black ingenuity, social commentary, and reckoning with technology through synthesis. The artistic expression known as DJing provides a means of exploring different forms of contextualization, leading to frameworks through which understanding and connection can be achieved. Thank you to the staff at MIRS. I hope to be seeing you a lot soon. So I'm going to preamble the first record, as this is probably one of the most special that I at least encountered during my time. Some of you might have noticed the vitrine as you come out of the elevator. It is the first thing that you should notice. And within that vitrine is a collage of one of my favorite musicians by the name of Sun Ra. And in the 1960s and 1970s, and probably beyond, and maybe before, there was a label called El Saturn that was the label of the Sun Ra Orchestra. So they pressed their own records, and many of them they would collage custom covers for. One such example is in that vitrine. And when I asked Julian, what have you been feeling here? Can you point me to some special things? Julian showed me this record, which comes from the vitrine. We identified it as Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is a pretty rare record. Hasn't had a lot of represses. And it features um, a song that he's covered multiple times, which is Take the A Train, Duke Ellington and Billy Strayhorn composition, which I will not be playing. But this record, the first record that I listened to, is now my favorite Sun Ra record, which I wasn't aware of before. And so I wanted to play it, a couple of tracks off of it, simply because this is what you get to discover when engaging with an archive like this, is that kind of locked behind these vaults. And your point of access being your library card, you're able to engage with things that are really this special and that kind of help you discover not only new things about the world, but new things about yourself as well. So the first two songs I will play from this record are entitled We Live to Be and Make Another Mistake.
Light me, dark me. You made a mistake. You did something wrong. You made a mistake. You did something wrong. Now make another mistake and do something right. Make another mistake and do something right. Now you made a mistake. You did something wrong. You made a mistake. You did something wrong. Now make another mistake and do something right. Make another mistake and do something right. You made a mistake. You did something wrong. You made a mistake. You did something wrong. Make another mistake. Do something right. Make another mistake. Do something right. Yeah, you made a mistake. You did something wrong. Yeah, you made a mistake. You did something wrong. Make another mistake. Do something right. Make another mistake. Do something right.
This one is on the Black Narcissus album by Joe Henderson. It's called Amoeba. This is Spirits by Gil Scott-Heron off the album of the same name from 1984.
World spins around us. We search for a balance. The secrets lie in darkness and light.
harked back to the cry of the French Revolution, liberty, equality, and brotherhood, it was clear that there was not and could not be liberty of individual action under the great industrial organization which was growing up in the world led by the United States. Production and industry and trade involved planning, and planning curtailed liberty. Moreover, our inequality as Negroes was a matter of fact. Negroes, with their ignorance and poverty and sickness, were distinctly below the average of those of their white neighbors who were educated and well-to-do and healthy. Finally, despite all propaganda, we saw democracy failing in America. Fewer and fewer people went to the polls. It was increasingly difficult to know for whom or for what one was voting, and the cost of elections arose to suspicious heights. The election in which Abraham Lincoln became President of the United States cost about $100,000. The election which made Dwight Eisenhower President probably cost more than $100 million. It's possible that it cost twice that. Election expenses today include not only direct bribery, but indirect influences, monopoly, propaganda, and deception. Under these circumstances, the appeal of socialism to all Americans increased. But the answer to the doctrines of Karl Marx and the utopias of Fourier and others was that with human nature as it is, socialism simply would not work. To me, the obvious approach to socialism seemed consumers' cooperation. I tried to plan an organization among Negroes as consumers which would furnish employment, help savings, and bring unity of action. But it was soon evident, as many of my fellow workers warned me from the beginning, that individual action alone could not bring consumers' cooperation, that without the power of the government it would fail, and with government cooperation it was socialism. My own training in this thought came from my travel. My 2 years sojourn in Germany at the end of the 19th century, where I saw the rise of the Social Democratic Party. My repeated visits to England and France in the first decade of this century. My visits to the Soviet Union in 1926, 1936, and 1949. Then, as a peculiar aftermath of the two world wars and my advocacy of peace, my travel abroad was stopped from 1950 to 1958. In 1958, I was able to make a trip covering 11 months in which I visited Western Europe, Eastern Europe, including the Soviet Union, and the Republic of China. This trip completely transformed my thinking. I started on it believing that socialism was a possible form of government and economic organization and was being carried on successfully in Eastern Europe. That capitalism was also a successful form of organization, and while it might degenerate into fascism and the rule of wealth, nevertheless, it could, as had been proven by Franklin Roosevelt, become a progressive organization. I returned with completely changed ideas. I saw socialism as the most successful form of government today possible in the Soviet Union and in the Chinese Republic. I saw it evolving into communism to an astonishing successful degree. On the other hand, I was frightened, and I am still alarmed at the degeneracy of capitalism and the possibility of it becoming a force so destructive that it cannot be endured.
That was W.E.B. Du Bois, Socialism and the American Negro, given on April 9th, 1960. Unfortunately, it is still quite relevant today. This is Left Test by the Revolutionaries. Now, this next one is my last one, and it's Linton Kwesi Johnson, who I had the pleasure of seeing at BAM in September for his first time in the States in 10 years. This one is called Bass Culture from Bass Culture.
Music of blood black, reared pain, rooted art geared. Ball 10 stopped in the bubble and the bounce and the leap and the weight drop. It is the beat of the heart, this pulsing of blood that is a bubbling bass, a bad, bad beat, pushing against the wall with bar black blood. And there's a whole heap of passion a gather, like a frightful farm, like a righteous arm, giving off wildlife is madness, bad out there. Hotter than the heights of fire, living heat down volcano core. Is the cultural wave a dread people deal. Spirits rise unreal and rise thunder wise. Latent power in a farm resembling madness, like violence is the show. Bursting out a sleep shackle, look here, bound for harm the wicked. Man feel, him hurt confirm. Man sight, destruction all around. Man turn, love still confirm. In destiny shine light wise. So life take the farm, we shift from calm and hold the way of a deadly storm. Culture pulsing high temperature blood, swinging hunger, shattering the tightened hole. False bowl fold, round flesh reveal freedom. Bitter cause of blues, cause of maggot suffering, cause of blood clot pressure. Yet still breathing love, far more mellow than the sound of shapes chanting loudly. Scatter matter, shatter shop, what a beat. For the time is nigh when passion gather high, when the beat just lash, when the wall must smash and the beat will shift as the culture alter, when oppression scatter.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for activating those records, for activating Black history. We have experienced Black history. We've also made Black history today by being in this moment, being in this room. So thank you all for being here, for creating this moment that we can't make anymore, we can't live anymore, but we know that we were here. So, and it is being recorded, so others will be able to experience it. Yeah, so this has been just such a great, wonderful afternoon. I am just so full of warmth and music and the sounds of our ancestors. I'm thinking about W.B. Du Bois. I'm thinking about Sonia Sanchez. I'm thinking about flowers yet unfurled, perfume yet unsmelled. I love that. I'm thinking about critiquing capitalism. Yeah. I'm thinking about letting oppression scatter, right? I'm thinking about all of those things, and I wouldn't be thinking about all of those things without the musical and creative and artistic genius of Lovey and Russell E. L. Butler. This has been a phenomenal first part of our series, Mic'd at MIRS, and I'm just so grateful that we started with these two wonderful artists and with you as well. It has been our joy to partner with The Lot Radio. And now I want to bring up Francois. Yes. Francois and The Lot Radio are going to be celebrating 10 years in February. Right. Francois is the man behind The Lot Radio, which we know is an independent online radio station streaming live and amplifying music and culture through a vibrant, community-driven platform. When I was doing a little research about you, Francois, and The Lot Radio, I found this little quote that you said. You said that The Lot Radio is a little island of freedom for all the music lovers. And so I love that. We have created a little island of freedom here. Thank you. Thank you. Take it away.
It's going to be really brief. I just want to reiterate that we're extremely honored and so excited to be able to collaborate once again with the Schomburg Center. We did it pre-pandemic a while back, and since then we've been trying to come back. So we're really excited. Thank you for making it happen to everyone, and thank you for all for coming. And we're actually excited that it's an ongoing series. It can take any form, and we hope to be able to welcome other residents to dig in the collection, and stay tuned and you'll see what comes next in 2026. So we're really happy to collaborate with such a beautiful institution. It's an honor. So thank you.
So just so you can mingle a little bit, and then we'll be kind of wrapping up, packing up, but feel free to mingle, talk to your neighbor, and then we will be closing the division pretty soon after. But just thank you for coming. Look out for the next Mic'd at MIRS. Follow what's going on with the Schomburg Centennial at nypl.org/centennial. And you can catch up with some of our other amazing events. So thanks again, and come back to Schomburg.